Good morning, grade 3. How are you? This is the first time you're going to use the class dojo, but we're going to use it from now on, so try to fit with it and to cope with the change. Before we start, I want you to know that I will use class dojo to give you your marks and your points. Um, if you took more points, that means you have more marks. This application is better than Facebook and it is easier for you to use. When I tell you to do the homework, I will give you marks for the homework or points for the homework. You will put your homework in the comments or you can send it to me on the application. You can talk with me using this application. Um, okay, in this application, I will put a link for each class. This link will take you to YouTube, so you're going to watch your lessons on YouTube. Do your best and I'm waiting to see your work. Today we're going to use volume 2 book and I know that most of you left their volume 2 books in the class. I know this. That's why I want you to write every important information on a piece of paper. For example, if I told you that this is important and I highlighted it for you like this, that means you're going to do the same and to write it on a paper. You don't have highlighter. You don't have your box, so you will write it on a piece of paper. And I want to see your paper. Okay? The paper you write everything on it, I want to see it. Okay, let's start. Shireen, you have your book. I know that you're the only one who have her book, who has her book. Sorry. So open page 633, and for the rest of the class, stay with me and write everything I say. Now, in this unit, we're going to talk about something we call measurements. It means how to measure something, how to know the total of something, the capacity of something. What are the units of measurements? So, we're going to take a lot of new things. Stay with me and try to understand every word. The first lesson is estimate and measure capacity. So, from the title, we're going to talk about something we call capacity. What is capacity? All of us have once filled down a water bottle. Okay? We all know the water bottle. We put water inside. Water is a solid or liquid? It is a liquid. تمام? So water is a liquid. When we put it inside the bottle, how much water can we put inside this bottle as capacity? For example, this water bottle holds 1 liter of water. So we can use a small water bottle to know the capacity of bigger water bottles. How? We know that this is a liter of water, so we will put it inside. We will pour water inside bigger one, and we will see how many of these water bottles it will fit. So the amount of liquid a container can hold is capacity. This is important. Write it in your book, okay? Capacity is also known as liquid volume. So liquid volume and capacity are the same. So if I said capacity or I said liquid volume, that means that both of them are the same thing. Now we're going to use some units in the next lessons, and a unit is a specific amount of measurement, a specific amount of something. For example, a unit to the length of something, to measure the length of something is meter. Okay, when I say liter, this is a measure or a unit to measure the capacity, okay, or the liquid volume. So one unit, and you must know what is the unit. One unit is specific amount of measurement, okay? So one unit is specific amount of measurement. Now, we have a system, we call it the metric system. This system or this system contains a specific unit for everything. For example, for capacity, we know that we measure capacity using liter. So a metric unit is a unit of measure in the metric system, okay? So this metric system contains a unit for everything in life. One of them is capacity or liquid volume, which we measure by liter, and this is important too. So this first paragraph contains a lot of information. Write it on your math notebooks if you have your math notebook. If you don't, write it on a piece of paper and keep it, please. Measure it. How much liquid is a liter? We must do it here. We must do an experiment to find any three containers we want to estimate whether each holds less than about or more than 1 liter. So, for example, if I have a glass, okay, or a cup, how much water it will take? More than liter or less than liter? Yes, water glass will, I think, less. They wrote about, but maybe it is less. So we will see the actual measure using a specific container that is used for measuring capacity, which is this one. Okay, this glass is used to make capacity. You will find measurements on it, for example, 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter. We're not going to do it, so we're going to skip this, okay? You can try to do it at home, okay? It is extra mark question or extra mark homework to do number 1 and 2 in your homes, and I want to see you doing this. So, your extra mark homework for today is to make a video of yourselves trying to put water in 3 different containers and to estimate if they contain less than a liter, about liter, more than a liter, and to find the actual measure. I think most of your mothers have the measurement glass in their houses. We use it to make some kinds of sweets or even to make a cake. So I think most of them have it, okay? Yes, try to do it at home. If you did it, you will take 3 extra points. And this is a good start for using ClassDojo, okay? So this is the first experiment you're going to do, and you're going to take extra points for it. Now, we said that we measure capacity or liquid volume with a unit of liter. Now we're going to talk about something called milliliter, okay? Now, milliliter is very, very, very small unit. We use this, we call it dropper, because when we press here, it will give us 1 drop of water, for example, or of liquid. So use millimeters to measure containers of lesser capacity. So when we use milliliter, when we are talking about very small volumes, okay? Very small or things that contain its capacity is very small. So to measure the liquid capacity of smaller containers, you need small units like millimeter. So you will highlight this, or you will write this in your notebook, that the smaller metric unit of capacity is millimeter. We use this dropper to measure millimeter. 1 millimeter equal about 10 drops, okay? So this is important. I will see if we can highlight this too. Yes, we can. So 1 millimeter is about 10 drops, okay? I highlighted it green for you. 1 millimeter is about 10 drops. Let's try it. This is an experiment that we should do in the science lab also, but because we're not in the school, we can't do it. Let's try to talk about it. If we have smaller containers like teaspoon, paper cup, how many millimeter they will contain? Think about it. If each 10 drops equal 1 millimeter, so how many drops we will put in a teaspoon? About 20, so about 2 millimeter. What about a paper cup? I think we can put a lot of drops inside the paper cup. So maybe 100? Yes. We supposed to use the dropper or this glass to know how many. Okay. But because we're not in the class, we're not going to do it. So the actual capacity of a teaspoon is 5 millimeter and paper cup is 100 millimeter. Okay. But don't write it because we're not in the school, we're not going to do it. But the most important thing you must know here is millimeter is smaller than meter. We use it to measure objects or containers with smaller capacity, and 1 millimeter equal 10 drops. Okay, this is the most important thing. And as I told you, if you did the experiment in the previous page, you will take extra marks. This one you don't need to do it, okay? Okay, let's see the next page. Let's hide this. Circle the better unit of measure each capacity. So we will know what is the best unit to me to measure each capacity. I will show you the answer, then we will talk about them. A pot of soup, okay? A pot of soup is big enough to measure it using liter. Juice box, we use millimeter. Why millimeter? Because juice box is very small, so we measure how many liquid inside using millimeter. Wedding bowl by liter, excellent. Now, fish aquarium by liter. Pitcher of lemonade by liter. Bottle of glue by millimeter. So we use millimeter for smaller things and liter for big things, okay? Big containers. Now we will try to estimate. Do you remember what does the word estimate mean? It means a number near the real number. So it is about what? Now this teapot, okay, is it 400 millimeter or 400 liter? Yes, 400 millimeter. It is small. This one, 4 millimeter or 40 liter. It is big enough to measure by liter. Now the cooking pot. Yes. Now, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is your homework. Okay? So you will do this at home and you will send it to me. It is today's homework. How much water is in each container? Circle the amount. How can we know? This one we are going to do it together because it is your first time to see this. Okay? Now this is a measuring glass that have numbers on it and tell us about how many millimeter is inside. ml is millimeter. Oops, let me erase this, okay? Yes. Okay, let us try to erase this. Again. Okay. Now, ml mean millimeter and capital L alone mean liter. So capital L is liter, small m with capital L is milliliter. How can we know? We will look at the volume. We will look at the liquid. Where does it reach? 300, okay? The top of the liquid reached 300, so it is 300 milliliter. So which answer is correct? Which answer is correct? 300 milliliter, not 100. Now look at this one. What is the capacity of this one or the liquid volume of this one? 200. So which one is correct? Yes, 200 millimeter. So again, that's it for today. We're not going to take more than this because this lesson is very new for you. But I want you to do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 at your homes. If anything is not clear, you can ask. When you send this to me, which is your homework, you can use your phone to make a screenshot and to solve it by your phones. Or you can write the number of the question with the correct answer on a piece of paper and send them to me. I know that you don't have your box, so I want you to write everything on your notebook. Okay? You're not going to write the previous 2 pages. I will tell you what to write from each page. From the first page, you must write the highlighted things, which are those. So stop the video here and write what does capacity mean, or liquid volume. What does a unit mean? What is the metric unit? What is the liter? Okay. In the second page, you need to write what is the millimeter and what does it equal. You must know that this is a dropper. We use it to measure volume or capacity. So 1 millimeter equal 10 drops. This is the most important thing in this page. Now in the third page, okay, in the third page, I want you to write number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on a piece of paper. Also 10, 9, 8, 10, 9 until you reach 15. I want you to draw everything and to try to do those on your notebook. That's it for today. I'm going to slow down from now on because I want you to write everything, and I know that you don't have your books. I will put some pictures of the book in the comments, okay? Yes, do your best and see you tomorrow, inshallah. See you in Sunday, inshallah. I told you about the quiz that we're going to have in Sunday. I will not make it in Sunday. We will take it in the next week, but I will tell you when. Thank you, grade 3.